Hello, this is Vincent Han here, and today I'm going to do a video on Identity Based Firewalling using VMware Horizon VDI solution together with NSX, coupled with uh, the NSX Advanced Services Insertion, also known as service chaining, right, using the checkpoint vSEC as well as the deep security, Trendmicro deep security. Alright, so before I begin, let me um, share with some of the challenges with Horizon VDI without NSX. In order to use Horizon VDI for different group of users or different group of BUs, you probably have to create multiple desktops pool and assign one of this desktop pool to each of this business unit or groups, right? And usually these desktop pools are maps to VLANs, right? With that, then you are able to create firewall rules based on the source IP address of the desktop pools, right? So as when the users requires access to different applications, you have to put in firewall rules in that manner, and over time, um, it can be very complex to manage for this firewall rules, right? So with the um, VMware NSX distributed firewall and identity-based firewall solution, right now instead of creating multiple desktop pools for different group of users, now what you need is just one desktop pool, and based on the user credentials or the AD group of the users, you can assign access control to applications based on their credentials, right? So you no longer needs to manage, complex file rules to implement such a solution, right? The scenario that I created for my demo, right, is more of like a secure VDI use case, right? So it's like managing contractor access to different enterprise applications, right? So what I have here is two groups of users, right? The contractors as well as the IT admin, which is the employee itself, right? So John, a user in this group, the IT admin group, he's able to access basically most of the applications, the web applications, DB, VMs, right? As as well as do web surfing, right? There's no restriction on the web surfing for John. However, for Shanti, being the contractor, right? The organization decided that she's able to manage the web servers, but not the database server, which contains some sensitive data, right? And on top of that, the organization also doesn't allow Shanti, being a contractor, to access some of the internet application, the social media apps like Facebook, or even watch videos on YouTube, right? But other than that, she should be able to access Google or Yahoo to do some research, right? So, right, let's proceed with the demonstration. So I'm going to use the VMware Horizon, right, for this demo. So I'm going to log in as John, all right? And you notice that there's only a single desktop pool, right? So when I log on, so notice that the desktop background as well as the IP address, right? 10.2.1.2.1.11. So if you recall, right, John being the IT admin, he's able to access most of the applications, right? So this is like accessing SSH to the web server. He's able to log in, right? That's good, right? And let's try the database server. Right. Okay, he's able to log in, right? And if you also remember, there's also not much web surfing restriction. So he can probably do some search on Google, right? And try going Yahoo, right? No problem, right? And let's try YouTube. Yep, that's also okay. And probably maybe the last one, maybe Facebook.com. Right, that's also alright. Okay, good. So let me now log off John, and I'm going to log in using Shanti, right? So just wait a moment for this desktop to be disconnected and log off. Okay, good. So let me now log on using Shanti. Right, so you notice that the desktop for Shanti is different. I mean, for this VDI instance, it's different because Shanti has used a different desktop. But then you notice that the IP address of the VDI instance remains the same, right? So you do the same test. So log on to the web server. Right? So if you recall, Shanti is able to get access to the web server, right? Okay, let's try the database server. See, there's no logon prompt. So Shanti has actually been denied to the database server. Okay, good. So the next thing, if you also remember, Shanti has some web restriction. So she's able to do like do some search on Google, and probably will even access Yahoo, right? Let's try again. Okay, Yahoo is being loaded, right? But then the thing is, she's not able to access Facebook.com, right? So Facebook.com has been blocked, and maybe YouTube, right? So you see there's some she can't access to all these applications or internet applications. So let me show you the logs, right? So if I log on to the checkpoint smart dashboard under the logs, right? Let's take a look at the last hour. And I've kind of like created to zoom down on this VDI itself. So if you can take a look at this, right, you saw that take a look at this YouTube is actually being blocked, right? And then if I scroll down further, you see if there any, right? So you look at the timing, right? Also, okay, so it's YouTube again. Let's see if there any more. Right, so you're saying, okay, good, Facebook is being blocked, right? So I make use of a checkpoint vSEC for URL filtering, right? Okay. Let me go back to the desktop. So the other one is actually, let's assume that, Shanti has downloaded, a file from the internet, and this file actually contains a malware, right? So eca.com is actually a test, anti-malware, a malware for testing, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to execute this file, right? You see that I'm not able to, extract this file. So what has happened that it's Shanti has actually triggered the squally event, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log on to Trendmicro, in this case, right? And I'm going to take a look at, there's probably some anti-malware status. So I'm going to go to computers, and I'm going to zoom down to the VDI, right? So I know that it's actually a VDI instance. Okay, so this machine, right? So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to go to anti-malware and see if there's any updated events, right? So if you look at the time now, it's actually 12:40 plus, right? So let me take a look at is there any new events, right? If you can see that, oh, okay, around 12:40, right? Shanti actually triggered a malware, right? So based on my quarantine policies, right? I will be able to show you over here. Okay, so if I go under firewall, right, under the quarantine policies, so I have a policy to say that quarantine VMs, which is right now, which is this VM VDI Win 705, right? My policy says that any connections is actually blocked. Right? So if I goes back to that VM itself, to the VDI itself, try accessing to the website, right? For example, who, right? The previously that I'm able to access, or even do a search on, Google, right? And you can see that I'm not able to search. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you that there's actually a security tag being put on this VM itself by Trendmicro. So I'm going to take a look at where's this VM? Okay, this one, right? So you can see that there is actually an antivirus virus file tag being imposed on this VM itself, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this tag and see and probably maybe the malware has been cleaned, and I would like to put this VM back into production. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the VDI again and see whether Shanti has access to Google again. Yep, she has access, and probably maybe Yahoo, right? Takes a while. Right, good. So there's access. All right. So let me bring back to probably before I go back to the sites. All this is possible. All the service chaining is possible with the service composer. So this is the policies for the URL filtering for VDI. This is the security policy that I impose for the anti-malware, right, using Trendmicro. So you can see that it's actually applied to this VM itself. Good. So let me go back to the slides. All right, so what you just seen is a demo using VMware NSX for the Identity Based Firewalling, right? So you can see that for the Horizon VDI, only one single desktop pool is required, and to impose some URL filtering restriction for the contractor access, I use the checkpoint vSEC to perform some URL filtering, right? And lastly, to prevent for malware, I actually use the Trendmicro deep security solution for that, right? So the one good thing about this solution is you actually don't need to install any agents in the VM, right? So just to show you that how we could use VMware NSX to extend to other third-party security solutions. So in my demo or this video, I actually showed you service chain using Checkpoint, vSEC, as well as the Trendmicro Deep Security, right? So with the right version of their console, such as the Checkpoint Smart Dashboard, as well as the Trendmicro Deep Security Manager, they already have the APIs to integrate with NSX Manager, right? With the integration, those service VM could be spawned off, right? And then traffic from the VM can then be redirected to the service VM itself, right? So it goes through the distributed firewall, it goes through the service VM, and once those are inspected and they are allowed, and then this traffic will then be able to leave the host onto the network itself, right? Good. So I also shown, using Trendmicro, right? There's actually, if there's a malware found in the VM itself, you could actually tag, or rather using the security tag to tag the VMs, and with that you can actually impose a quarantine policy onto the VM itself, such as blocking outgoing or incoming traffic, right? Once that VM is being cleaned, right, the security tag can be removed and the VM can be put into production, right? So with this, you actually limit the exposure of the malware, right, in your environment. So with that, thank you very much for watching this video, and see you next time.